Can you imagine this amazing moment in the White House? Right. President of the United States speaking to the President of Iran for the first time since 1979, the possibility of a real diplomatic breakthrough. Right. And I'm standing there just sweating bullets like, oh my God, what have I done?
Yes.
Turned out okay. But look, you know, it to me is a damn shame, and you said this in your opening, that it's really hard to know who to credit with their account. The Iranians say there is no communication. The President of the United States says there is. You want to believe the President of the United States over hardline clerics in Iran. But the reality is probably there's some kind of messages getting passed without real clear infrastructure to make sure they were complying.
Did they comply with that? Because the scuttlebutt, the guys, is that they didn't. And that's why we gave them billions of dollars that they used for Hamas. Is that what happened in your mind?
They got sanctions relief as a result of the deal. Yes, John, they were complying with the deal. Even the
Even the nuclear facilities you guys
said they were complying with the agreement. And then in 2018, President Trump pulled out and said, this is the worst deal in human history. If that's true, that is quite remarkable, because there's been a lot of deals in human history. Because the Iranians said, wait a second, we did a deal with Obama, Trump pulled out of it. How do we know that if you come in, you're not going to pull out of it again? Then Trump comes back. When Trump comes back, there is actually an opportunity to do a deal, because he's the guy who pulled out. Iranians put a proposal on the table in Geneva that went a long way towards resolving the nuclear issue. And my understanding is that our side, our negotiators, simply didn't understand what they were being offered, and they ignored it and decided to go ahead and start.
Our guys didn't understand. Was it in Farsi? What? I don't.
There's a mismatch between that and what the mediators, the Omani mediators, said was actually on the table. Right. So I think
so. The Trump administration said that Iran was threatening them by suggesting that they had a lot of enriched uranium. And apparently the Omani said no, they weren't threatening you. They were just telling you what they had.
Telling you what to render it so that it's no longer fit for purpose to be turned into. With the total obliteration was so powerful because you can strike Iran's nuclear program.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they still have a stockpile of enriched uranium. They still have centrifuges lying around various facilities we may not even know about.
Right.
And they still have scientists who know how to put all that together.
So this gets us to the interesting point about belligerent countries and about belligerent nations, and that is the difference between capability and ambition. And I think we're seeing that now with Netanyahu. By the way, when you were in office, how many times did you have to say to Netanyahu, like, don't bomb that? Like, did they listen? You know, I was so struck. This is a tangent. He seems f***ing nuts. Like, it's the kind of thing. I remember when Russia bombed Ukraine, and you guys came out with very powerful statements. These are war crimes. You're against that. And then Netanyahu bombs Gaza and kills thousands and thousands of civilians. And the U.S. is like, hey, guys, be cool. Like, it's so weird to me. You can degrade capability, but all you're doing is creating more ambition. And how is that a recipe for a lasting peace?
When it comes to Iran, what Israel would like to do under this particular government is just break Iran, cause chaos. Because as far as they're concerned, a broken Iran is less of a threat to Israel. Now, the United States of America cannot think about it that way. Because a broken Iran means a broken global economy because we continue to run the Straits of Hormuz. It means a potential refugee flow like we saw after the war in Syria into Europe. It means a lot else besides. So I do believe that when it comes to this war in Iran, there is a real divergence between Israel's ultimate aims and the United States' ultimate aims. And part of the challenge we see is that when we ask, what is the administration doing, they can't answer that question because they don't know why they're there in the first place. They haven't been able to give us an answer as to what this is all about.